Clear stone and hard stone. Meh. That is for bows, hard stone, if you're doing like a regular mode bow. I really want my spider chunks. It's not a phrase I thought I would ever say. I really want spider chunks, but there it is. Ow. Let's see what the tooltip for grey is. I don't even know what that one's about. Reinforces straight swords, axes, hammers, and the like. Used to craft weapons that rely on sheer strength to bludgeon foes. Weapon can be reinforced by gravestones at level 5. So this is the equivalent of like strong or heavy or whatever in Elden Ring. It seems like. Need the Dark Souls ring of extra soul stuff. Oops, that's off the planet. I was kind of like half reading what you said and half looking at the game. Yeah, I mean, I have a ring that grants me extra souls. I put it on whenever I go and fight the wraiths. Increases the number of souls obtained from slain enemies. No, it's me. I need to learn to look and then not try and walk while I'm looking down at the tablet. I think that's a me mistake rather than an anyone else mistake. But yeah, there was one vendor that wanted to charge me 50,000 to buy one of these, and then I found one a little further into the level for free on the floor. And then I had a thief stone that I started with at the beginning. It's not called a thief stone, but it's a thief something rather that I started with that had extra drop chance for items. So I guess yeah, I think I started with one of those as the thief class. Haven't worn it for a while because I've got the regen ring on because, yay, regen. But also the cling ring on for I don't lose quite so much HP while I'm dead. And I remember in Dark Souls 2 I did the same with that ring. I always had the less dead when dead ring on. So I really don't want to go through that consumable. I really think I could do with 4 ring slots, not 2. But I don't think there's any way to fix that. Yeah. Because it looks like anyone that drops like the shard version of something, like a spider stone shard, can also drop the chunk, but on a rarer chance. So item rarity seems to be like an absolute boss stat in this. Thankfully I started with quite a lot as a thief. Like there's a stat that governs it too. And I got like 15 of it to start with, which is more than any other class. And you combine that with a ring that I think I started with, and yeah. It's luck. Yeah, 15 luck. So luck is chance to find items, plus you get 1 physical defense no matter what you level up. And then on top of that, it's plague resistance. And there was only like 1 level with plague on, and plague is awful. But there's only 1 pool of water in the entire game that gives you plague. I don't really want to go with a stat that gives me massive plague resistance. It might be different if you did online mode and did some PvP. Because there's a dagger that attacks people with plague, and you know, maybe it's a popular online item. Right. So I do want the item that's down there, but I don't want to fall through this hole over here. No. I don't like this mob because you do some big damage if you hit it in the head. Like, it takes massive damage in the head. But that either means wasting arrows or becoming a wizard of some sort. Because he just never really puts his head down on the floor for meaty people to stab at. Where on earth is, like, a safe way down? Oh, I think I remember. I think you have to, like, roll off the side here somewhere onto something. Maybe I'm thinking of, like, one more floor down. Hello there. Shorty SRT4. That might be another word. But, yeah. I'll have to just keep guessing until I get it right. This is the PlayStation 5 version. I went out and brought a PlayStation 5 just to play this and Bloodborne. And I didn't much care for Bloodborne at all. Which is a little bit disappointing after spending all that money. Ooh, yeah. Snorlax gif. Oh, Burton's missing it. He loves Snorlax gifs. Okay, I'm alive. That's good. Good start. Just ordered one for the same. Bloodborne, Demon's Soul, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, Rebirth. I think those are on PC, and I have a really nice PC, so I prefer to play things on PC. Because at the moment I'm streaming my PlayStation 5 to one of my PCs, and then streaming everything on both the PlayStation 5 and the PC to a second PC. And it's just like, I'd be taking a lot less steps if I just had it on PC. It's supposed to come today, but I've never seen this game at all. Beloved other From Software games. Yeah, this remake is absolutely wonderful. Same, but things still don't push my 4090. Yeah, I have a really big monitor. I have one of the ultra-wide monitors. So I do find that I end up using quite a lot of resources. I wonder if I can win this combat. There's an awful lot of these guys now. Oh, right. I have the Acer Predator X34 or something, which was like the first G-Sync one. And I can only go up to 100 Hertz if I overclock it. The monitor is overclocked right now to 100 Hertz, and it's kind of funny. And the G-Sync modules become a bit broken over the last 5 years. And for 40 minutes at the start of the day when I turn it on, the picture comes in all scrambled, like an out-of-tune TV. And then after 40 minutes it kind of clears up and I can actually finally see the picture on the monitor. So it's not great. I'm looking to buy a new monitor, but there's a few out there that look kind of nice, but I'm not decided on what one yet. I just don't want to go with a 4K monitor because I'd lose so much screen. Like, I don't understand why 4K's become popular, because it's just a lesser monitor than an ultra-wide. Come on, internet, fight me, I dare you. But it's true. You get extra game to the left and the right. Yeah. So, ASRock are coming out with a new 3440 by 1440 monitor sometime in Q2. That is 240 Hertz without overclocking it. It's got HDMI 2.1 and DisplayPort 1.4 on it. And it's an OLED, and it's gonna be amazing. But Q2 is so far away, and using this monitor is agony with the problem that I have with it. So, I don't know. Somebody offered me a 4K monitor, I'd use it instead of this. for a while until my proper monitor comes out. I'm not looking to buy 2 monitors back to back for, you know, £1,000 each. That's not the kind of spare money I have lying around. Oh god, I'm trapped in this corner next to this box. Oh, thank god. Gonna get my proper knife out as well. There it is. Oh, so there's a bunch of other companies that are using like that monitor size, but they're introducing like this incredibly weird curve that bends it. Like it's like the monitors are going to be as bendy as like a pair of sunglasses on your head, and I hated it. And the ASRock one that I mentioned specifically is doing a normal curve for like all the other 340 by 1440s. So that's why the ASRock one's special. It's the only one that are just having a sane curve on the monitor. The other monitors are almost kind of bent in half. It's crazy. So how's the difficulty of this compared to some of the other FromSoft games? I can definitely answer that one, because I always keep my characters on the starting amount of health. So in this case, the stat is called Vitality rather than Vigor, and I've kept it as 10, and I'm pretty sure I'm quite far into the game. And it's not been the worst difficulty. The worst difficulty has been Bloodborne. I hate that game so much. And then next up is Dark Souls 3. Is the most difficult with the starting health. And then Dark Souls 2. Then Elden Ring. And then Dark Souls 1. Is the easiest. But I know a lot of people don't just probably stay on the starting health, so that's... I have a slanted view, but like I have the best view. Bearbug Brains. Oh, what a weird item. Dragonstone Shards. Not what I was looking for, but never mind. In Dark Souls 1, staying with the starting hit points, I was able to still stop and try and parry mobs at, you know, further into the game without being instantly killed if I failed the parry. Which is why I rate it at kind of like one of the easiest ones in regards to like difficulty, because your health doesn't matter too much. You can totally play Dark Souls 1 without ever increasing your health, no problem. And then Dark Souls 2 is like, nah, you're probably better off with a lot more health. Dark Souls 3 is almost impossible with no health, but I slogged it out, and we won! And it was so satisfying to kill Frida with the starting hit points. And then it was so satisfying to kill Gale with the starting hit points. And it's not like I hate Bloodborne because they don't give you a shield. We did Dark Souls 2 with the starting hit points and no shield, only rolling. And it was great. It was difficult, but it was great. Bloodborne is just an absolute freaking nightmare. Too hard for no good reason. Yeah, Bloodborne looked great, but it was over too quickly. Bloodborne seems to be a really short game. If the last 2 guys that I'm looking at are the end of the game, I don't know, because I never look at any wikis, guides, or anything else. I play completely and utterly blind. I only see what the game presents to me. Elden Ring was great, though. Because there's so much content in Elden Ring, and because it's a long-lasting game, unlike Bloodborne, the game can very slowly ramp up the difficulty, because there's plenty for you to see, without them just giving you like a roadblock enemy that just takes forever to kill. They don't have to resort to such a cheap tactic in Elden Ring. game. Wow. Got so much footage from Elden Ring. And it was a joy to play. It really was. I didn't even care that there were some repeat enemies in Elden Ring, because it was brilliant. You can definitely tell that it's like one of them more modern games, because there's so much distance rendering, and the game doesn't run bad. Like, Dark Souls 3 is a smaller game. You see less, just because it's more on the rails. But I had like little bits of lag in Dark Souls 3 all the time. And the textures have to pop in when you get close to things, even though they shouldn't really need to. Not very optimized. I say Demon's Souls is a wonderful experience. Like, I could easily play this in New Game Plus straight away after finishing this game. Whereas all the others, I'm not going to, because I've got Sekiro to play next. But we're going through all of the games with the starting health, and then doing New Game Plus of all the games. And it should be loads of fun. But this I could immediately play in New Game Plus. I'm not tired of this at all. I don't like grinding for arrows and health potions. But other than that, it's perfect. Demon's Souls Remake, 10 out of 10. I heard that name before because I got this coupon with my PlayStation 5 that was for coins on this website. So I was looking up what games are exclusive to the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5. And I think that might have been one of the names that came up. I can't think I'd know it from anywhere else other than that. Also, this is a little bit of a weird area of the game. All this, like, attacking an enemy that doesn't really fight back with far too much HP. This isn't really, like, representative of what Demon's Souls is normally about. It's just like this one weird area where everything just has some strange HP bloat. And I don't know why. I think there's different weapon types in the game that just would chop right through this without taking so long. Got a bleeding sword. I'm going to try and put bleeding on this guy as well as poison. There we go. I think I've got two different numbers ticking now. So he should be bleeding and poison. I should have thought that earlier. Old World Samurai Dark Souls basically. Oh, that sounds cool. I have this list on my Discord of games that people suggest for me to play. If I remember, I will try and put that on my list manually. Or, you know, if you end up joining the Discord for some reason, I'm not trying to like bug people to join my Discord, but yeah, if you end up there, you can write it there, and I'll put it on the list. The goal is to play every game I missed in the last 20, 30, 40 years, because I used to be an MMO guy. Everyday MMO, all day, every day, for too long, and I've missed all the single-player games that happened. Apparently there's this cool game called The Witcher 3 out there. I don't know anything about it. I've had no spoilers, thankfully, and I want to keep it that way. But I haven't played that. I don't know. I got no idea. The Witcher 3 could be about space Martians. You know, for all I know, because I know nothing. So cool. So we got everything out there to play. I'm even going to go back to like 30-year-old games. Easy peasy. There's some real fun stuff out there on the Amstrad, ColecoVision, Intellivision, Spectrum, Nintendo. I think the PS5 button was just better for loading times and frame rates, as far as I'm aware. Marriage Kids kept me away from MMOs, and I don't miss them. Sure. The MMO is not my family, that is. Yeah. Don't want to accidentally make the wrong mistake there. Oh wow, this weapon seems to do loads of damage to these, the little ones. I don't think these little ones were as armoured anyway. Dragon stones. Right, so beetles drop dragon items. Don't know why, but that's a thing. Not loving the camera angles here. I will rebuy Final Fantasy Rebirth when it hits PC, whenever. I will play in... I'm not sure what UW is, modded. I didn't want to wait to play it. Oh, is it like a timed exclusive? One of these things? I hate how things can be timed exclusive away from PC. I understand that people need to sell consoles, because consoles need all the help they can get, but it's still annoying. Oh, UW ultra wide. Yeah, I should have guessed that. Yeah, Sony throwing the big bucks at the timed exclusives. Yeah, between them and the Unreal Store, the Epic Games Store, I'm really starting to get kind of annoyed at this kind of like way of selling things. Down to 1, that's much better. Pretty much only signed up to the Epic Games Store for the free games. I tried to... like, I think I made it my homepage because I didn't want to keep on forgetting that they're giving away games. So I have a lot of free stuff over there to play. I got something called Cat's Quest the other day, which I had on my Steam's waitlist, and it was going to cost me money, and now I got it for free. So I can't really complain about the Epic Store giving me stuff for nothing. Nintendo did it for Monster Hunter Rise as well, which sucked. I think I brought so many duplicate Monster Hunter games. Yeah, my first ever Monster Hunter game was the one on PC that you were suggesting the other day, and I'd actually played it before, the Monster Hunter World. Come on, where's my bleed front? Come on, bleed. Come on, swap the other weapon. I'm just never gonna get a bleed rock. Oh, I think we did it. Yep. Finally. Yeah. And that's poison too. Ah, we're ticking. Eat. Oh, that still hit me a bit. So, yeah, Final Fantasy. I'm not allowed to play the Final Fantasy VII Remake until I play Final Fantasy 1 to 7 and get a recording of it. I've decided them's are the rules. Completely arbitrary, but, you know, I'm going to do the original 7 and then play the 7 Remake. Which I'm starting to worry about because we've had it released twice, which must mean that it's like a multi-part release, and I kind of hate them. I guess that means that we don't have the end of the game yet, unless it's a 2-part game. But I'm assuming with most companies, it's going to be like Monkey Island, maybe, where it's going to come in 4 parts. I like all things, but but like you, I spent 5,500 on this PC to build it myself. I prefer PC. The exclusives are killer. Fair enough, I'd be down to watch that. Gonna head for a dog walk. Catch you later. Good hunting. Oh, enjoy your walk with your dog. But yeah, we gonna play everything. It's all gonna be done. No exclusives. No excuses and no gaps. If it's a good game, I'm gonna play it. The only thing is that I do not like cars. Like, vehicles in games just annoy me. And I don't like sports games. There will be no FIFA. There will be no NBA Jam. There will be no golf. But that's already included in, you know, I'm only going to play good games. Sorry, golf fans. Golf video game fans. I really don't like these flying beetle things. They're a bit boring. So let's try and move on past them. Head on over this way. I think we thoroughly loot this level now. Doesn't seem to be any way to get to the distant stuff. I play Forza, turn with the wheel shifter. I hate sports games. Yeah, makes sense. My only racing game that I've played and enjoyed was Gran Turismo 1 and Gran Turismo 2 on the PlayStation 1. Because the cars had upgrades. I could get my car more stats. Adjust the torque up a bit on the, I don't know, the wheels or whatever. And there were actual stats in the game. So it was cool. It was actually fun. You start off with like the worst car in the world. And you make your way up. Very fun. And then if you had to do any of the licenses, they gave you a car that was appropriate for the license. There was no going in overpowered for the license. There was no going in underpowered for the license. You just had to do it right. So Gran Turismo 1 and 2 I totally respect. But, you know, cars going around in a circle for laps and laps and laps. I hate it. Like, I couldn't imagine a worse hell than being stuck in a car doing laps. I think I looted most of what's down in this direction, but have a bit of a wander and then die somewhere and return back to the Nexus. Take that back. The sports games I liked back in the day were amazing. WCW versus NWO, Wayne Gressotech 3D, NBA Jam, SNES, maybe NFL Blitz on 64 also. I remember playing NBA 95 on the Mega Drive. It's when the announcer would sometimes yell, "He's on fire," and your basketballer would in fact be on fire. So, you know, it's kind of fun. I think there were some cheat codes to play as like some really funny people as well. It's like, hey, input this cheat and you can be Bugs Bunny out in the court. How old am I? Well, I'm somewhere between the ages of 30 and 60. I don't like to give out like my date of birth or year of birth because that's it's one of the first things that they ask you and keep on record when you sign up for anything. So it's probably not a good idea to give that stuff out too often.